ऐसा निकलते हैं और उन्हीं के आवाज को वोकल बोला जाता है। आप सभी के आवाज अगर मिल जाएंगे तो सोचो, विकसित भारत और भी विकसित हो सकता है। ये जो ब्रांड पोजीशनिंग है, आप लोगों में किसी को मतलब सिर्फ नौकरी पाना है या फिर कुछ खुद का बनाना है? एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, बिजनेसमैन, बिजनेस वुमन, बिजनेस टाइकून। हाँ, किसी को नहीं बनना है? 3 साल की डिग्री और उसके बाद झटापट 20,000 की नौकरी, है ना? हाँ? नो? किसको बिजनेस पर्सन बनना है? बात यह है कि बिजनेस पर्सन सबको बनना है, बट वो उत्साह और वो साहस नहीं आती, बिकॉज वी आर फ्रॉम सो कॉल्ड मिडिल क्लास फैमिली। आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज फंडिंग तो पापा मम्मी करेंगे नहीं, जो आपके आय से होगा वही है फंडिंग, और उस पे फिर बिजनेस का रिस्क। सो समवन हैज टू स्ट्रेटेजाइज दिस 3 things that we all can do together on this topic: food, agro and biotech, अन्न, अनुसंधान और नवाचार, यही विकसित भारत का आधार। आप सभी को अनुरोध है, मैं ओडिया रे इंटरेक्ट करे चाहिए, मैक्सिमम पीपल वुड बी इन ओडिया। आई वाज आस्क्ड टू स्पीक इन हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश। आपण समस्त को किसी ना किसी आइडिया बाहर थो, किसी ना किसी डिस्कशन कला बेले किसी ना किसी क्या विषय आपण माने कथा होथिबे, एंड आई एम श्योर कि थाउजेंड्स और 2000 रील्स आपण पर डे एवरेज रे इन एन एवरेज देखुथिबे। व्हाट इज योर स्क्रीन टाइमिंग? यस, ब्लेजर, स्क्रीन टाइम ऑफ Instagram. No, Priyanka, just pass it on. Yeah. 10 to 11 hours. 8 to 10 hours, correct. And with those screen readings, we have those algorithms. You check on the reels which are trending, right? On the songs or movies or something, depending on your algorithm. But at least in one day, check into 4 forms. तीनटी को भी एंटरप्राइज को चेक करो, बड़ा बड़ा हो कि छोटो हो, स्मॉल बिजनेसेस हो, एनीथिंग. I will say you, like within 7 days or within a month or maybe 2, your mindset will change because you will get those algorithms. Everything is in your hand. Everything यहाँ पे नहीं लिखा है, आपको ट्रेंड सेट करना पड़ेगा. You are the trend setter. You can change the trend, right? So now on, check into any 4 things, any 4 companies which is coming into your mind, or maybe the panelist over here can suggest you when we will have the panel discussions, and quickly get into it. And I'm sure कि within 2 hours you will get the same reels again and again. है ना? Companies के reels आएंगे, उसके startups. Do you know about Airbnbs, how they are booming on? Correct? How Amazon is playing in the market. The same way we can also grow into the agro and food industry. And being a biotech student, you have both the things into your hands. 2 तलवार अपने हाथ में है, बायोलॉजी एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. व्हाई नॉट टू यूटिलाइज? सिर्फ 20,000 की नौकरी मुझे पचारिया को चाहिए जो मैंने ये विज्ञ व्यक्ति बसचंती सेमानक एक्सपीरियंस प्लीज लिसन इट. आपण समस्त को जाना है आजिकार पिला मानकर ड्रीम्स केते बड़ बड़, बट से भितरे से माने कोड ना कोडी भटकी जाउछंती. आपण माने कोन तो आजिकार जहाँ भी चली सिचुएशन, आई वुड से the inflammation rate 20,000 रे चलिबा सहज होउची. केही भी जाने सर एपट जो माने बसचंती. Correct, absolutely correct. Everybody needs shortcut. Sir, shortcuts, yes, shortcuts will lead to accidents. Cut and short. क्या खूब बात बताई. So we have our one of the panelist chair, Srimati Rashmita Panda, IAS Commissioner cum Secretary MSME Department, Governor of Odisha. So once again, I would like to welcome all the dignitaries, panelist members, chair, and thank you to ICC. A big round of applause for every one of us present over here. Now for the next pillar 3 and 4, next gen agri and food MSME, which focuses on the technology driven agriculture, startups and innovation. I would like to request the chair to be held by Srimati Rashmita Panda, IAS Commissioner cum Secretary, MSME Department, Government of Odisha. With a big round of applause, we are welcoming ma'am on the stage. Simultaneously, I would like to request our chairperson, Shri Rajiv S. Sahu, the chairman, ICC Odisha State Council, to kindly please come up onto the stage and take by the chair seat, which will be focusing on the enterprise, capital and policy, focusing the financing, policy support and ecosystem development. And the fellow panelist members, Srimati Samita Mahapatra, Director, Magnum Group. With a big round of applause, we are going to welcome her. Professor Nihar Ranjan Sahu, CAET, OUAT. Dr. Abhrankash Kanungo, Executive Vice President, Source Stress Systems, USA. Ma'am Shivani Kar, the Director, Bikalananda Kar Memorial Trust. Would like to heartily welcome Shri Ayush Shiopuri, GM NABARD. Dr. Namrata Mishra, CEO BCKIC. Shri Pradyumna Kumar Chaudhary, Deputy General Manager, SIDBI, Odisha.
Thank you so much, dear.
Welcoming to all the dignitaries and moderators. So we are proceeding towards the next session.
We can start?
Please, please.
नमस्कार मु सर्वप्रथमे होची आईसीसी एवं आईसीसी को लीड करुथुबा श्री राजीव एस साहू सर एवं आमर समस्ते एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जो माने आईसीसी सहित जड़ित अछंती मु समस्त को धन्यवाद दबा को चाहूची कि एग्रीटेक फूड टेक एवं नेक्स्ट जनरेशन रे जो एग्रीटेक एवं स्टार्टअप्स माने काम करूचंती आमर जो एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस माने इथरे काम करूचंती जेमति का एनआरआरआई कटक हे जाऊ ओयूएटी हे जाऊ समस्त को गोटे प्लेटफॉर्म रे आनिबा पई होची से माने एटा गोटे बहुत बड़ प्रयास करिचंती ता सहित होची आमर एमएसएमई विभाग तरफ रु एवं स्टार्टअप ओडिसा तरफ रु आमर बहुत प्रकार रो स्पेशली पॉलिसी इंसेंटिव्स जोटा स्टार्टअप मान को पाखरे अछि मु किछि स्टूडेंट्स मान को भी देखि पारुची जो माने आज एठी अछंती ओयूएट रु अछंती सबू ये रो हाँ तो बिकॉज बहुत स्टूडेंट्स माने भी अछंती जो माने मु भाबुची से माने बडिंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स अछंती आगु को किछि स्टार्टअप रो दिगरे करबा को चाहुचंती मु तांकु भी किछिटा कहिबा को चाहिबी कि स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी माध्यम रे आमे होची जो माने किछि नुआ आइडियाज नुआ इनोवेशन जोटा सोसाइटी पई हे जाऊ किंबा होची हमर इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट सस्टेनेबिलिटी गोल्स सेही दिगरे हे जाऊ किछि काम करिबा को चाहुचंती तार रिकॉग्निशन डीपीआईआईटी सांगरे स्टार्टअप ओडिशा भी दउछि आर गोटे निर्दिष्ट पोर्टल अच्छी से पोर्टल रे आपण माने जदि के स्टार्टअप करिसंती सेठरे अप्लाई करि परिबे आमे पाखापाखि 3-4 प्रकार साहाय्य से दौछु गोटे मंथली अलावेंस ग्रांट अच्छी जोटा आप जी भी किए नुआ होची एंटरप्रेन्योर स्टार्टअप करिछि ताकू पाखापाखि 20,000 रु 22,000 जाए मंथली अलावेंस ग्रांट रो सपोर्ट अच्छी सेटा करिला परे आपण माने जो आइडियाटा करिथिबे ताकू आपण प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म रे डेवलप करिवे जेमति का हमें ओयूएटी को सांगरे जते बेले मीटिंग करू तांको पाखुर को बहुत जन प्रोडक्ट सरिका वैलिडेट करिवा पई नियंती से जो प्रोडक्ट ता डेवलप हबो तार प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट एवं ता मार्केटिंग पई भी गोटे असिस्टेंस सरिका हमें दउछु सेटा पाखापाखि 15 रु 16 लाख रुपीस ईयर हिसाब रे दिया जाए फर्स्ट 50% दिया जाए तापरे होची तार आपनकर सुविनियोग हैला परे रेस्ट 50% दिया जाए आकु छाड़ी की गोटे नीड बेस्ड असिस्टेंस अच्छी नीड बेस्ड असिस्टेंस रे पाखापाखि होची आमे गोटे सिमिलर अमाउंट ऑफ मनी ग्रांट करू तो आम पाखरे एबे फूड टेक एवं एग्री टेक रे आजिका डेट रे आम पाखरे पाखापाखि 600 रु 700 स्टार्टअप अछंती जो माने विभिन्न दिगरे काम करिसंती तांकर पेटेंट सरिका भी हेलानी एवं से माने मार्केट खाली ओडिशा भितरे सीमित न रखिकी बाहर को इवन नेशनल एवं इंटरनेशनल लेवल रे भी किछि किछिटा से माने काम होची कलेनी तो मु होची आशा करिबी कि जो स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटी माने एठी अछंती से माने होचंती तांकर जदी किछि नुआ आइडियाज अछि आमे तांको मेंटरिंग सपोर्ट भी दोछु केबे केबे कोन हुए पिलांग पाखे आइडियाज थाए किंतु ताकू केमिति का डेवलप करिवे से मेंटरिंग सपोर्ट ता मिले नहीं से मेंटरिंग सपोर्ट पे आमर पाखापाखि 35 टा इनक्यूबेटर्स अच्छी ओयूएटी जेमति का आमर गोटे एग्रीटेक रो इनक्यूबेटर एनआरआरआई अच्छी मैडम आछंती बीसीकेआईसी रु किट रो इनक्यूबेटर बहुत ब्लू इकोनॉमी रिलेटेड काम होची आमर सेइथरे ओ हब गोटे इनक्यूबेटर अच्छी आईआईटी भुवनेश्वर रे होची गोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर पार्क अच्छी सेठी भी होची आमर डीप टेक रिलेटेड स्टार्टअप्स माने अछंती आकु छाड़ी की एबे नाइजर एंड आइजर आम सहित जड़ी हवा को जाउचंती तो सेमाने भी होची आमर न्यूट्रीटेक एंड बायोटेक रिलेटेड वर्क रे आगु को जाउचंती संबलपुर यूनिवर्सिटी रे गोटे सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस हेची एबे बायोटेक्नोलॉजी रिलेटेड आमे नोटिस करूछु कि किछि किछिटा बायोटेक रिलेटेड आइडिया सेठू आसुची मु आशा करछि कि आज जेति की जण एठी पैनल रे अछंती समस्त को होची काफी इनपुट्स मिलबो स्पेशली टू आवर स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटी जो माने आसीचंती सो दैट आमे केमति का होची स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम को आगु को नै परिबो ता पय हमर लक्ष्य रहइबो तो वी कैन स्टार्ट विथ ईच ऑफ द पैनलिस्ट आई रिक्वेस्ट सर आल्सो टू स्पीक अ फ्यू वर्ड्स
नमस्कार गुड आफ्टरनून मु जानी टिके सोई पड़े किंतु चलिबो माने आई थिंक द एंकर टोल्ड दैट यू हैव ए राइट टू टेक रेस्ट आफ्टर लंच सो you can first let me tell you that you have a very dynamic personality, the very efficient woman bureaucrat in front of you, the MSME secretary, whom I was in fact hearing that how you have become so dynamic, because I have been hearing about you from many people, and today you are occupying a very important position, the MSME secretary. In fact, MSME is the backbone of any state and country, because that provides the employment opportunity. Odisha is one place where there is a need for new employment generation, quality employment generation, and that should prevent migration of our people, both qualified and otherwise, to move out of the state. There are aspirational migration, there are compulsory migration. So we do not want either of them, because first is we must create opportunity in the state so that they stay in the state, develop the state, stay with their parents, stay in the home, and make the state a beautiful one. Second, while I say so, I have the experience of dealing with the entrepreneurs for the last 40 years in various capacities. Just for information, I have been a practicing chartered accountant. I have been a director of banks and other institutions. I am associated with probably all the financial institutions in different capacities. I have also been associated with the entrepreneurs in various capacities across the country. Now, to start with, I must tell that an entrepreneur has no friends when he starts. Therefore, he has to run from pillar to post. And those who know the pain, like Mr. Ramesh Mahapatra's daughter is here. So he is an entrepreneur who started from the scratch. There are many, I mean, our friend, the family of Bikalanandakar, that is an exhibition of how from a very small setup, they have become a national brand today. Now, everybody becomes a friend after the success. Till somebody becomes the success, people will keep on telling, criticizing, hunting, and do whatever it is. And I must tell you, when you are successful, you have a different set of critics. There will be income tax, there will be other agencies who will be trying to create some problems as if he has amassed thousands of crores in the process. Or I have also seen a small unintentional mistake by an entrepreneur is being viewed very seriously, over seriously, without realizing that what contribution he is making for the state and country. While I say so, I must also make a mention that today, if government is able to spend, it is because of the taxation collection, which is the entrepreneurs having succeeded, and the income going up, taxation going up, and in effect, today our budget size, national budget size, is more than 50 lakh crore. I remember in 2000 that was 1 lakh crore. So from there you can make out how important it is for the entrepreneurs to be groomed, supported, and escorted also. There are issues with the entrepreneurs. There may be some shortcomings, but I am always a strong propagator that you should not be inclined for a job, or that should not be the first choice, or at least the first choice of pride. In fact, when my son wanted to go for a job, I told, please don't spoil my name. If you go for a job, then I think I have not done anything. Then he, of course, asked for, he said, I'll work for a couple of years, then I will come back. I said, that is the excuse. And second, I don't want you to go out of the country. The trend of today's generation is get well qualified, go out of the country, then talk on the video when their time comes, maybe after 4 to 10 hours, and then say, I have done this, I have done this. I would strongly say, let us make this country a good one. Let the qualified people help in building a strong state and strong nation. So Odisha has full of opportunities. Yes, there are some shortcomings. I can be open, and I think the panel chairman will permit to be little frank within limit, that the constraint is when you want to approach, you don't get as much warmth. I'm talking of pre-Miss Rasmita Panda as Secretary MSME. Things has changed, but we want that please support in the government hierarchy. I am also a strong supporter that it is not only Secretary MSME or Chief Secretary who will be extending the warmth. It is at all level. People must see that an entrepreneur is struggling, and let us give a helping hand, and then he will give employment to many unemployed, including your own son. Those who are sitting and creating stumbling blocks, they themselves will be approaching once there is a success. But if we don't support, if we don't help, then it is not possible, or at least the progress will be slowed down. Number two is another set of problems which we discussed in the morning is the bankers. I, as a former director of two banks, I know bankers always feel that a new entrepreneur is a bad entrepreneur and he will be a contributor to NPA. But that is not correct. The good entrepreneurs are also new at some point of time. And at that point of time, because somebody supported, today they are where they are. And therefore, it is the duty of the banks. We do not say that you should encourage people who have a fraudulent attitude or approach. But we are telling those who are sincere, genuine entrepreneurs, let us support them by providing need based credit with proper counseling and monitoring. At the same time, what we lack today is the angel funding, equity funding, venture capitalists, which our people need. And how to create that, maybe in some other situation we'll discuss, because I have seen all over the country and all over the world, the new entrepreneurs are mostly funded by equity, because debt, they are public money, they are not meant to be taken to risk. So if somebody has a moderate success or has a reason to success or has matured into, then there is reason, and if it is denied, we can blame the banks. But for those who are with new ideas, they need to go forward. There is a need more of equity funding where the risk is known, and if it succeeds, you get a prize for it. If you don't, then there may not be. So we need to work out in a very objective, technology oriented, and good financing model, need based, where they have started many of the schemes which started, in fact, sometimes back. Now they have improved on it, like the subsistence allowance to start with, say 20,000 per month. There are some mentorship. There are some people who, government is supporting by some marketing expenses, reimbursement, some support for capital. All these are good, but we need to update ourselves with what is happening around the globe. I have seen in 2015 when we visited, part of a state government delegation, we visited some of the hubs, the startup hubs, and we have seen what kind of model they are following, both for training and customizing them with the market conditions. So I think we need to move forward. We need to look at, we are looking at you as the MSME secretary. We are looking at OUAT for the necessary support, innovation, because the product development is very important. We need hardworking, sincere, competent students to come into the arena of entrepreneurship rather than giving application for employment. Thank you very much. We need to hear the other speakers, panelists, and let me tell you, each one of them is brilliant. You must listen to them. Thank you.
So we can start from.
There is one online speaker, so we can start from him. Okay.
Online gets a priority.
Yeah. Prabhuji, are you online? You are able to hear us? I think we need to hear you. Let's just check with our systems. Is he audible? Can you speak a bit?
Check, 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 check.
Is it? I
Yeah.
think it's fine.
Now I'm not able to hear you guys, but I think you guys can hear me.
We are able to hear you.
Please go ahead.
Perfect. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm the founder of TABP Snacks and Beverages. I'm not originally from Orissa, but I choose to build there. We run a factory in Raigada at the MITS Mega Food Park. So, very happy to be part of this conclave which is happening. So when I share the next few numbers, it might be looking a little off, but in sense, in Orissa, close to 20% of the state's economy is made by agriculture and allied sectors, right? And last year, the sector grew by about 5.3%, while the country grew at just over 3%. Orissa harvested a record 1,50,000 metric tons of food grain. So my major question which I've always had is, if the state grows so much, if it feeds this much, why does it capture so little of the value? And why, when India has over 5,000 agri-tech startups, Maharashtra alone has more than 1,300 of them, Gujarat has around 700 of them, Karnataka around 600 of them, Orissa barely registers on that map. The gap between what the state grows and what it builds is the most exciting opportunity in the agri-tech right now. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes on it. I built in the space. So let me be practical about what is changing on the ground. The old model was simple and brutal. The farmer grows, trader buys it for cheap. The value moves out of the village, but the risk stays with the farmer. Technology is quietly dismantling that model, and I personally have watched it happen field by field across multiple states where we have run our factories. A soil sensor now tells the farmer exactly how much urea to use, not a sack mode, right? A phone camera can detect what crop diseases before it spreads. A satellite can give an estimate of the yield across the whole block. An app today can connect a farmer at Koraput growing food to a buyer directly in Bengaluru, skipping about 4 middlemen. And food and biotechnology, better seeds, biofertilizers, fermentation, processing. That is grown leaps and bounds. Especially the last part is literally my business. The crop a farmer sells to us walks out of the gate as a branded snack worth many times more as what it came in. This is what the next gen agri and food and MSME really means, not a tractor, a data layer on top of the soil. Now, why does this belong in a summit about startups and innovation and not just an agriculture department meeting? Right? Because the economics have flipped. India's agri-tech market is already close to $1 billion and is projected to hit about 2.5 billion by 2024. Startup activity already reached over $1 billion capital. Arrived, the technology is matured. What is the winner execution on the ground? And Orissa can win. The business, the mission or recipe, it is about connecting the last mile. It is the trust you can give for an agri-tech startup. And building that trust at the village level, in person, season after season, cannot be done from a metro. It has to be done from the regions where the food is really getting produced. And that I feel is an advantage which Orissa, it's a very unfair advantage which Orissa has. And any startup founder who's starting out of Orissa should be able to tap into that. And Orissa is not starting from zero. The state in Orissa. Set up government provides heavy subsidies. Through the startup hub, there is an innovation.
We can tell him first, actually. Maybe you can, or maybe he can switch off his video, or our side, we can switch off the video.
I would not have built it individually as a young company, but thankfully we have had the segment of Orissa where this MITS mega food park was built. I could get a place business out of Orissa. That is real money and infra waiting to be claimed. The bottleneck is not policy. The bottleneck is the founders who show up to use it. So let me be direct about what this summit is really asking us. The founders, the problem you should solve is in your own district, the broken cold chain, the fish that rots before the market, the millet nobody knows how to process. Build there. For investors and industries, the next agri-tech success will not come from a state that is already has 1,000 startups. It will come from one which has the richest raw material and the least competition. That is Orissa. That asymmetry is the opportunity. And for our policymakers, you have built an excellent runway. Now help us with two things money cannot buy fast: patient mentorship and market access. Connect an young founder with a farmer with a problem, and we will solve for it. I came into this sector because I was tired of watching people who feed us stay the poorest among us. Technology and enterprise finally gave us a way to change that equation, not with charity, but with business. I didn't come to Orissa to stages from a stage. I built a factory in Rayagada, and I am betting my company on the growth which Orissa has to offer. The state has a lot of land, it has produce, it has harvest, it has policy and great bureaucrats like ma'am, who's very dynamic in helping all these startups do what they need to do. Now what we need is the courage to go ahead and build, and that part is up to you and me. So let us make sure that 10 years from now, when someone draws the map of India's agri-tech, Orissa is not a blank space. Let us make it the center. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we can start from this side with madam. Huh.
Can I have my slides?
With the slide, make it looking interactive.
That's why after lunch session was like,
Ah.
that's why I created some slides for you.
I think what you are going
Have you told them
to-
you have given your presentation to them?
Say that now. You are our neighbor.
Good afternoon, Jai Jagannath. See, this is a conference focused on technology, so we have to be patient with it. Give me a few minutes and give the team a couple of minutes. By then, yawn and stretch and get revved up, okay? And this is for my friends sitting in the back. Okay, while we wait for the slides to come up, I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. And you guys are from the agricultural university which focuses on agriculture. Okay, my quiz didn't happen, but I can still ask you. Agriculture sister concern quota, joda pani re hue. Something or related with water? Great. And I am from the aquaculture world. So this is Mrs. Samvidha Satpathy. Jai Jagannath again. and I am here to present to you about the next green revolution on the sea. So before we get started, I will tell you a couple of things that my father taught me, and I took some cue from Rajiv sir today. Like Rajiv sir said, and he told his son that I'll be ashamed if you go out and work. Similarly, my father told me, जो बाप का नहीं हो सका, वो किसी का नहीं हो सका. So I was in Sweden, living a life of technology, robotics, and AI, selling broadband and 5G to the world, working at Ericsson, and that's where boom came. I packed my bags, tied my apartment, and came back to my roots. So from the global corridors to the coastal routes, here I am running the show Magnum Seafood, founded by my father. And he taught me three things, very important, that I am going to teach from an entrepreneur to my fellow rising entrepreneurs. Roti, kapda, makan. These three things are basic human wants. They are human needs. They are here to stay forever. And I'm so happy that ICC and Rajiv sir have decided that they're going to focus today only on roti. And Mananya Rashmita madam is going to basically chair roti and how we're going to bring technology into roti. So I'm very happy that I'm part of this session, and off we move on. So my next slide is, before we start, tell me when the green revolution happened. And this is only to the question to the people on the back. Green revolution ke hitla India re? जब पंजाब रे राइस हितला में rice, wheat. Guys, you must have read history, civics. When did green revolution happen? I know you guys, when some of you were not born then. Okay, it happened in 1970s and 1960s. That was the time when green revolution happened, where there was a huge focus on speeding up the volume and quantity of food. But from green revolution, we went on to, after 5 decades, we basically took 50 years to come up with the next green revolution. So the first green revolution, phase 1, was about food and how we produce more food. But now it is all about how we produce food smartly, efficiently, and intelligently with technology. So if you look at it, everybody after the green revolution innovated. There was a lot of innovation around processing. Companies like Magnum, we came up with processing technologies. From block freezing, we went to individual quick freezing. Then we went into blanching, cooking of shrimps and fish. Then we moved on to super value addition, like breaded shrimps, skewers. Skewers mane tame chingudi gada ko gote skewer re 10ta chingudi pakeki, you can make it into a value, and then you just have to barbecue or grill and eat it. So there was a lot of innovation that was happening around processing. But was it happening on the food itself? Was the innovation happening on chingudi? Was the innovation happening around pomfret, ilsi? What happened to the fish and the chingudi while we were evolving the innovation around processing? There was a lot of innovation that happened around packaging. What we did is packaging basically was, there was a huge focus in 2010, from 2010 to 20, on how to keep your food fresh. How to keep your food fresh with smart packaging, vacuum packaging, sealed packaging, pouch packaging. So there was innovation there. There was innovation around marketing, branding. But ame food ko hi bhuli gale. How do we kind of control food with technology? Food was still being controlled and governed by nature. Soil, sea, water, basically sunlight, and your climate determine your crop cycle, especially when it came to food and aquaculture in the coastal line. Just to give you a little bit of an insight into how many people are dependent in Odisha on aquaculture. 9 lakhs farmers, just around 800 villages across Kendrapada, Jagatsinghpur, Puri, Barampur, Bhadrak, and Baleswar are dependent on fishing and aquaculture. So we basically we basically focused on a lot of subsidies. The subsidies were on dry crops. I think the the government of India, the government of Odisha has done a fantastic job in evolving these subsidies around MSME. So there is a lot of focus around crop insurance, procurement subsidies, subsidies around your rotation cycles, subsidies around your pesticides and fertilizers. But unfortunately, the aquaculture, which is like treated a little like the stepsister to the agricultural sector. What happens is, Amara city subsidies nahi for feed. We don't have enough subsidies for crop. We don't have enough crop insurance. Jadi bodhi asila, macha kharap hegala. If there's a flood, the fish gets spoiled, your bad luck. We don't have vaccines. Like, polio is given to your children to prevent you from having polio. Similarly, shrimps and fish have a lot of handicaps. One shrimp, if it has two tails, then it is basically a polio shrimp. Mane taro handicap hechi. So that shrimp, it cannot be used. So what happens if there is technology to basically preempt and predict diseases that happen to the shrimps, pomfrets, hilsas, and the like, then I am sure that preventive medicines and with the help of technology, we can move and move mountains, especially when it comes to our captive area that we have around the coastal regions of Odisha. And one thing I've realized that whenever there is a little bit of a problem in any sector, like our empty aquaculture, we have had a downtime because of US subsidies and all of that. So what the government does is the best form of innovation is come up with another subsidy. But is that a solution? A new subsidy is not the solution. The solution is how we collaborate and how we create an ecosystem which focuses on making sure that we basically create a technology-driven culture in aqua farming.
Samita ma'am,
So,
I think from here, I think we will make little
yeah,
better. Yes.
okay. So then when it comes to innovation, what we can do is we can create a big impact. We can basically have alternative chemicals. We can talk about, we can basically look at nano fertilizers, biofertilizers. We can look at feed innovation. We can look at basically lessons that have been taught to us from our fellow other verticals like chicken, rice, joti. We have made significant progress. So we should look at aquaculture being the poultry industry of the sea. So instead of the ponds being governed just by shrimps, it should be governed by artificial intelligence, smart monitoring, drone monitoring system, and basically preemptive predictive medicines. What Magnum has come today to offer to OUAT, okay. So I will basically quick track. What we would like to offer you is that Odisha is leading. We have a very efficient person who is governing this area, Rashmita madam. What we can do now is we can produce more food more intelligently. And what Magnum is offering to you is basically a test bed. We are offering you a live laboratory. We have done that for a startup called Water Engineering Technology, where they have basically helped us monitor our water tables, salinity, mane luna kitte pani re achi, salinity content, and they have helped us with drone monitoring. So we are offering you a live laboratory of 250 acres of farms for my fellow researchers and academia to come and collaborate with us, because Magnum believes that aquaculture is an ecosystem which thrives on collaboration. That is why our tagline is in collaboration with you. We have a local, this is our presence across the coastal line, and we are happy to have more people like you join us with energy and enthusiasm and tell us how we can bring technology revolution to a sector which has been very, very traditionally maintained and run. It takes a team to tango. This is the Magnum team, and it takes the whole ecosystem to grow together. So together we can. Thank you.
So we'll go in that order only. Professor Sahu will be next to speak.
Thank you, madam. Respected madam on the dais and dignitaries on the dais and of the dais and the students. So today I'll be telling you about the innovations in food processing and the experiences of OUAT. Okay. So in this presentation, I'll be just explore the potential innovative food processing technologies in the state of Odisha. So here I'll be telling about the emerging trends. I'll be telling about the technologies at OUAT, then the challenges, opportunities, very brief. Then I'll be telling about the recommendations what we want. And as we know that Odisha is rich in its agricultural resources. We are discussing in the morning. So we have got many, our 10 agroclimatic zones are there, starting from our coastal belt to the eastern ghats. We have got different type of commodities, agricultural commodities, starting from cereal, pulses. We have got the north, and we have got coffees and tea. So many things are there. And also we have got very rich culinary heritage. If you'll be moving around the country every 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers, you'll be getting something new. You'll be starting from Cuttack, maybe they have all of them. Somebody is coming to Bhubaneswar, you'll be getting the Korakhai, or you'll be going to Kendrapada, you'll be getting the Rasavali. So these type of foods are there, traditional foods. So if we'll integrate these innovative technologies, we can increase the food security, we can reduce the wastages, and we can add value to our agriculture producers. So the state of Odisha, we are this food processing sector is witnessing growth because of this rising consumer demand. Because of the youth population, there's something want every time they want new. They go to the market every time they want the new, and also government initiatives are also more. I mean, increasing. We are hearing from the morning itself what are the different type of government initiatives are there, but at the same time, challenges are also there. So challenges are also discussed like inadequate infrastructure, lack of skilled laborer, and limited access to the finance. Of course, we'll be talking about the finance. But again, these opportunities are there. This untapped potential, I was telling you, maybe some of the things I'll be showing you is there. So there is opportunities are there. So there are some emerging food processing technologies like high pressure processing, maybe micro processing, infrared heating, ultra sonication, then pulse electric field, high intensity field pulse light, then freeze drying. Then we have got this smart packaging, aseptic packaging, cold chain management, advanced refrigeration technique. So many technologies are there which are quite new and innovative, but I am not going into all those things. Those are mainly theoretical. Again, we are coming to it. But what I'll be telling you about the innovative technologies from OUAT. So this is a technology. Yeah. About the cashew apple. So we worked on this in the year 1997, maybe 30 years back. So this fruit has got the astringency, tannin. So if you eat it, you'll be having irritation in your throat. So we have devised about 8 to 10 methods where you'll be removing the tannin, and after removing the tannin, the juice we can make different type of value-added products, starting from ready-to-serve beverages, jam, jelly, and many other things. Then another food is like your stone apple. So this is another food, another fruit. We can say it's underutilized fruit, but we have got a deep faith on this type of fruit. But the problem is that most of the industries they won't work on this fruit because of its problematic hard cover on it. We have devised a machine. We have patented it also, so it will cut it into pieces. Then we'll dip it in the hot water. We will remove the seeds. We will remove the fibers, and we'll make the pulp out of it. And once we get the pulp, we can make different type of value-added products. Then another thing we have worked in is the pineapple. So this pineapple was working for the people of Rayagada, Gajpati, particularly Mandal Sai area in Gajpati. So we have made these osmodehydrated drinks and different type of drinks. Then another product is aloe vera. You must be knowing about the aloe vera. So aloe vera has a problem of aloin in it. So when the aloin is in it, it has some toxic effect. So you have to remove the tannin, aloin from it. So after removing the aloin from it, we can make different type of product. Next product is stevia leaves. Stevia leaves, you know, is a alternative sweetener. So we can prepare stevia dried leaf powder. Then we can prepare extract from it, tablets and pellets. Now it is available in the market also. Then we have got these value-added products from a mushroom. So you'll be happy to know that Odisha is the highest producer of mushroom in the country. So we are the highest producer of mushroom. We have got tropical mushroom research center in OUAT, and with them we have produced different type of products, starting from your mushroom soup powder, mushroom sauce, mushroom ketchup, and different type of things. Okay. Then another very interesting product is mahua. Also we call it bahulo. So this is a totally forest product, flower, totally natural, but it has got a lot of sugar in it, about 30% sugar in it. And the problem is that the tribal people, when they collect it, they don't collect it hygienically. So the problem happens, it gets fermented, and we call it bahulo, which is of course, it's a alcoholic drink. But if you collect it scientifically without touching the ground, so in the left side you can see we have developed some technology where we'll be collecting it scientifically, then dry it, and inside there is stamen. The stamen gives it a bitter taste. After removing the tannin, we can make different type of value-added product that is shown in the right side. And also I'll show you. These are the products available in the market. If you go to the Amazon or any other sites, you can get this product. These products are being sold by the people from Jharkhand area, Jaspur district, and those people came to us. They learned the technologies from us, and they have acknowledged also us. And these things are available in the they are marketing it electronically. So mahua biscuits, mahua laddu, mahua, these things. And yeah, the next, like, we can also produce different type of value-added product from mahua flower. We can make the dried flower. Dried flower also available in the Amazon. You can get it about 350 rupees per kg, because this product they used to take from other state and they add it to the bakery product. So we can make different type of bakery product like cupcakes, cookies. Even if we make it in the powder form, we can add it the chocolate. The chocolate, the brown chocolates are there. We can just melt it, and about 10 to 15% of this dried mahua powder we can add to make it mahua chocolate, and it's really tasty. Then we can make chikki. Then another thing, we can make mahua jaggery. As I was telling you, it contains about 30% sugar in it. So mahua jaggery also can be prepared, and people are also preparing from it. Then another thing we have prepared is that is your cashew nut butter. Like we are making in the market, we are getting this peanut butter. Also the broken cashew nut, that is a byproduct from the cashew nut industry that can be made this cashew nut butter, which has a good market potential. And this thing is a rice flour and moringa leaf extruded product. In the morning, we are talking about moringa leaf powder, and the speaker is also there. So he was telling about its nutritional benefit. A lot of minerals are there, particularly it's rich in calcium, iron, and other things. So I add it to the rice flour and make an extruded product. Extruded product are nothing like your kurkure type of thing, or we call it Cheetos in United States. Actually, this technology, I learned it in Kansas State University in US. I was a normally Borlaug fellowship there. Then I learned this technology. They are making it with apple pomace and this corn flour. And here we made it with rice flour and moringa leaf extract powder. So it's a good thing, because our children, they can get nutritious product along with some minerals and also the dietary fiber from the moringa flour. And the bottom one is the retort processed the chenna pod. What are the chenna pod you are getting in the market? Hardly you can keep it for 4 to 5 days, maybe in the refrigerator. But the thing we have made, we can keep it well more than 3 months in the ambient condition, no refrigeration required, and that is the retort processed chenna pod. And also some of the students work we have done, IoT sensor based setup for controlling insect in the stored grains. We are storing the grains, the insects and rodents, they come to the grain, and we have to have some control measures. It can detect, and also that can control them. This is the technology there. And another technology is here, intelligent packaging indicator, monitoring the freshness of fresh cut produce. Like suppose the pineapples, we are cutting it, we will keep it in the ponnet pack, and over that we'll put that intelligent indicator. And with the time, maybe 0 day, it will be looking green, but as the time progresses, 4 days, 6 days, 8 days, the color will be changing. When the color will be changing, we'll be knowing that it is good or bad. Then another machine we have developed, that is the development of combo milling system for rice and dal. This mill in the left side, that is a particularly dal mill. But we have made change in the its roller and its cylindrical concave, so that the same thing, the same machine we can use for dal, and also we can use it for rice as well. So the same is a combo machine. So the same machine, one entrepreneur, small entrepreneur, he can use for both the things. Another technology we have made it for retort processing of chena jhili. Chena jhili is from Nimapada. So this is a traditional cheese-based sweet. So here we have made the standard operating procedure for making the chena jhili, and also how we can preserve it for at least 3 months to 6 months at the ambient condition, the retort process that we have done it. And so also we have devised a machine. Yeah, development of chena jhili making machine. This machine will be making the chena jhili so that you will get uniform size the product, so that will help in the packaging. This is the machine, we have patented it also. And we have made process technology for texturized mushroom protein. Okay, in the market you are getting the soya chunks. The soya chunks are nothing but defatted soya flour that is extruded. Okay, so we have made, that is from soya flour. You are getting soya body, but we have made it from
Sir, I
mushroom
request
protein.
you to make it little quicker.
Yeah. Yes. Then we have made this quick cooking mushroom curry. We have made a product, zinc fortified rice. Then some equipment also we have developed. Some equipment we have developed. So this is the equipment. So this is a reversible air flow dryer, because Orissa is mostly frequently made by these cyclones and other things. When rain will be there, the paddy will be get wet. So we have to dry it very quickly. So this is a thing, when 3.5 to 2.5 to 3 tons per time we can do it. So another machine is so this is a evaporative cooling thing. We have patented it. Patent we have obtained from it. Then another machine is a removal of this stamen removal. We have got a patent from it. Then we have made a small scale oil refining it. Also we have got the patent from it. And there are some small machines, another machines we have made. Yeah. Some of the machines we have done, but now I have to finish it. So achievement by our students. So 2 of our students of the 2025 graduate, Mr. Sahil and Mr. Orofria, they secured the first prize in the cash out of 4 lakhs in the prestigious IKB ABI cohort 6.0 competition. So they are award-winning project focused on the extraction of the bioactive compounds from your temple waste. So in the temple will be getting a lot of wastages. So they are utilizing it to make this bioactive compound. So this is an innovative approach towards waste valorization and the sustainable resources utilization by our students. And 3 of our students of mine department, they were shortlisted for the first round, the final round of the innovative competition organized by Indian Society of Mechanical Engineers and Synergy Institute of Technology and SKD Patent Services, Kolkata, for proposing the innovative solution to industry-related technical challenges. So these are innovative projects were development of retort processing of clay pot goat meat curry. Mati handi mutton curry. So they have made this mati handi mutton curry and they have put it in the pouch and they can keep it for 6 months. That is also in the display. You can see in the display. At the ambient condition, you can keep the curry. You just cut it open the packet and you can eat it directly. So the type of technology that students are projecting. Another was development of ketogenic flour from a locally sourced raw material. Another is development of protein-rich paneer masur dal rasbara. So these are the achievements of our students in excellence in innovation for the entrepreneurship, product development, and application-oriented research. And also OU has contribution in geographical indication, GI tag, for many of the things. So GI tag, the product supported by OUT are Noyagarh Kantemundi Brinjal, Mayurbhanj Kai Chutney, and Dhenkanal Magji Ladu. And currently also working for Palbaigan of your Dhenkanal, Sarsatiya of Sambalpur, Pejua Beri of Keonjhar, and Manikpatna Dahi. So many things we are doing. And what is the thing beyond the registration? What is the road ahead? So what the next after opening the GI tag? Like suppose Kendrapada, they have made the Rasavali. In 3rd October 2023, they have obtained the GI tag. But what next? So government agencies like our MSME department, they are actually supporting, they're actively supporting for the cluster development initiative for this GI tagged product. In this context, OUT has we can play pivotal role.
Sir,
like
can we-
development of,
can we wind it
yeah,
up,
this is the last slide. We can develop some SOPs. We can make scientific standardization, technical guidance we can give. We can make product diversification, value addition. We can give assistance in selection of and procurement of machineries, capacity building. Then we can facilitate in food security and support the commercialization. So through this intervention, OUT can contribute significantly to transporting the GI tagged product from traditional heritage food that is available in Odisha. I was telling you, every 50 kilometers you travel, you will get something new. So we can make it commercially viable enterprise, thereby enhancing the income of the producer, preserving the cultural heritage, and promoting Odisha's unique agri-food product in national and international market. Thank you.
So the next speaker will be Dr. Kanungo.
Sir, thank you. Very sorry.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you, Chair, Madam, and thank you, organizers, Indian Chamber of Commerce, Odisha chapter, and OUT Government of Odisha to give us the opportunity to share our experience and technology interference with the August gathering here. Myself, Dr. Kanungo, I present Source Test, a company which is quite old. As the name says, we are expertise in tracing from the source. You name the product, we are there to traceable from the source and end-to-end solution in the supply chain. It was founded by 3 MIT guys in US, and now a good number of Odia people are leading it and handling it. We have, with me, we have a partner from Africa also who are implementing our technology in the field. If time permits, I'll try to showcase some of the things. So without spending much time, as you can see, look, if I request, I'll take very short time. I'll try to convey the main theme of tech-driven agriculture. If you look at this diagram, you look at any segment of product traceability starting from its production till it reaches the last mile. We are there. It's AI-driven mapping also with latest technology. If you look at its penetration in almost, we have penetration in 37 countries. And to go ahead, we are having our SaaS-based products, which is easily shareable, easily deployable. You can use also with a very low bandwidth, even without internet connectivity, you can trace the products from the field. So just before jumping into the topic, I just wish to have some interaction with the students from backside. Or anybody can just answer. When you have fever for 5 days, what you do first? Anybody having fever for 5 days, we will go to doctor, right? So doctor will tell first, will the doctor prescribe medicine or what it tells? Sorry? Test. That is where the lies. We all are talking about agriculture, productivity, we are going at this much, we are producing everything, doing. We don't look at the report. How the production is coming, why it is diminishing, why it is yield is not coming, where I have to address it. So this comes to precision agriculture, where we use the drone technology. Why drone is required when we have satellite available? There are a number of satellites moving here and there. Now you must be visited by a couple of satellites from planet. Why you require precise agriculture with drone technology is that we require to map at the farm level, pond level, with your area only, and very specific to your cultivation, your product, what you are producing, what you are cultivating, how it is giving, what the status of it, how much stress is facing. Like that, if you look at, so you need to get proper picture, proper image from that in different bandwidths or different way, create proper report. I'll show you two live case studies what we have done. And I request students to understand it very nicely. The moment you get the report, the moment the doctor gets the report, then domain expert is come into picture. He can prescribe us, he can prescribe the ideal medicine looking at the report. This report is always very important. For that, you try to get very fine report. If simple blood report cannot work, they have to go for a detailing report. So here are some of the case studies you look at. This is one case study, live example I'm showing you. This was done in Andhra Pradesh. And it was done in 1718, almost 20 years back. We try to understand the status of this rice cultivation near to Tirupati. You can see here we have used multiple sensors. When I tell sensors, cameras working in different wavelength. And you can see different indices getting generated, normalized differential indexes, chlorophyll indexes. So you can generate indices. These indices are not prescription. Remember it. I'll tell, because last 20 years I'm in the field of space technology, working in different segments. These indices are not prescription. These are the reports. Domain experts like agriculture or scientists, they have to refer this report and tell that what to be done at what place. This is what the key role comes for the agriculture scientist. Key roles come for the domain experts. You can see how the chlorophyll has changed depending on the pattern. The image tells that where the chlorophyll is high, where is the stress, where cultivation, where the harvesting should happen. This is one example. This another example. You can see this another very high resolution drone image was taken. You can see the tank which is supplying the water to nearby agricultural field. There the weeds are grown inside, which is affecting the ICOT area. And to analyze it, we use satellite images as well as drone images. Why we have done? Because satellite was the derived result from the satellites. When we start using AML algorithm, the satellite start giving some abrupt result. So you can see the drone image saying very actual value, and because it needs to be clear, because it again leads to a commercial component. So the moment you get very accurate image, you can do assessment properly, and it leads to your work much more simple and more easy. This is what I mean to say, that the technology is there. Just how to use, we should know this technology. The drone is not only for this, only for just, you can see maximum drone having photography, videography kind of thing. It has penetrated into many fields. As Madam was telling, they're trying to do the aquaculture, trying to understand the salinity level, depth, what kind of water quality. Here we are trying to identify what kind of vegetation is there. We are trying to identify how much chlorophyll is there. We can trail that what the stress is happening at which location. So starting from mapping, monitoring, treatment also. I'll show you some treatment videos live with our African partner where we have implemented it. So the moment it comes for treatment, you have treatment of doing fertilizer spray, pesticide spray, where you should spray, how to know that. So these images provide, I'll just go back. These images provide which plot you need to spread, which kind of fertilizer, where you have to do treatment. So these are the things which is important. So technologies provide you mapping, assessment, treatment, and end-to-end solution you can get from drone technology. So young masses are there, they must be thinking, is it possible for you people to come forward and start doing on this area? So answer is always open. I always look at ideas are nobody's monopoly. You can have your ideas, you can start working on that. So these are the some field cases from Africa. you can see after treatment, before treatment and after treatment, how it has happened. So after treatment, you look at the treatment. We are rigorously working for sugarcane cultivation in Africa. Our partners are there. And I'm proud to say that Mr. Mahalik is there, who is alumnus of this institute, OUAT. And in Africa is one of the leading agriculture export in sugarcane industry. So he's there, you can interact with him. And if you are interested for coming forward to use this technology, this time is very short. We cannot talk about the much on that line, that how to pull into the mainstream and how it can be create a winning
They
situation.
can take a number, sir, maybe they can be.
Yes, you can contact with me. So I'll just end up here telling that there are opportunities that are there. And 1 minute. This is where I mean to say, because Madam is here. So if you look at, there are a couple of programs been channelized from PMO office, and we have this Nari Sakti. They are giving a special privileges there. 1,600 crores been allotted for 2 years to train the self-help group to learn this technology and use in this field. There are schemes are there. So starting from the end to end, if MSME provides the proper scope for these new innovators to come, manufacturers to come and manufacture agri drones for spraying purpose kind of thing, they can connect to this with subsidy. They can provide to the self-help groups or our Mission Shakti teams. Further, it can be channelized. The productivity will increase. Treatment can be done. It can be linked to our agriculture extension officers at district level, block level. They can provide advisories. Further, it can be connected to our traceability platform where there are always industries there to help you out. So product from your very remote location can be sent to other locations in global village. So it is not a challenge. So we can discuss further how to go ahead. So this is all about. I'll just tell the team to show 2 videos from Africa where you are using it. I hope it will just give you some ideas. If Africa, there people are using, why can't in India? I'll just go that way, because I worked length and breadth in Andhra Pradesh. Bapata Agriculture University does uses rigorously, because we are there with them. They have done nicely. We cannot take close picture, we cannot take, because there are pesticide sprays are happening. So we need to be very careful, because spray happens in very finer particles. So need to be careful when you are taking for videos. So these are the one or two videos we will show you also. There is no editing, nothing. It is raw videos we have taken, how the spray is happening, where we have mapped. The mapping happens within a couple of hours, the spray happens. Where there is stress, there the spray happens. With the expert advisory of Mr. Mahalik is there. You can see the ladies standing on that vehicle and flying from there. See how nicely they are doing. So it is open for all the young mind here sitting, and if test beds can be given, we can partner with institute and we can provide that know-how from our side, how it can be used for multiple crops. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker we have Shivani Kar, who is representing Bikarananda Kar Memorial Trust.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, industry leaders, and fellow visionaries. Today we gather here to discuss the revolution, that is the bridge that our Odisha's rich heritage can be developed. The innovations can be led with the growth, and technology-driven innovations are taking place in Odisha. So here together we are gathered here to discuss. When we talk about innovations, the first thing that come to our mind especially is maybe about software parks or heavy automatives. But if we see the actual innovation and technology development is right now happening in our kitchen and in our agricultural sector. So I think the epicenter of such a change and development is our brand, Bikal Nandakar Rasola, which has started its first initial journey in a small village of Salepur in the district of Cuttack. And today here we are with 12 outlets and products being available globally. Wherever possible, we are making our product available. And I think the only thing that has helped us do this is preserve our sweets for a long time. And we are doing that without any added preservatives. So I think the one thing that continuously runs in our factory is continuous research and development of the sweets, how we can keep it fresh. So I think our brand is bridging a gap between the farmers who are selling milk, who are taking care of the cows, and globally making the sweet available. So there's a bridge between these farmers and the end product sweets that's being sold. So when we are filling the gap, we are responsible for the livelihood of these farmers who are providing us milk 365 days in the year. Our business is not certain. Today we have season time, we have a good sell of sweets. Tomorrow we don't have, tomorrow, it's off season, we don't have the sale of sweets. We cannot close the collection of milk and chenna from our farmers, right? So what we have decided right now is we have to, for their livelihood, we have to collect the we have to collect the milk and chenna regularly from these farmers. So what we do is during the off season, we make sweets, we preserve it, we pack it with the technology that is being developed. So for that, we have adopted many technologies which are very successful right now. The first packing machine we got in 1980s was the tin pack of sweets. Right now, if you think of packed sweets, that's very normal. Sweets, to mili jiva, packed sweets, to normal. Kintu 1980s re, to have the vision that the packed sweets is the future of this industry is something, that foresight was very difficult because it was a risk taking to get the first machine of tin pack. And all the sweets that we are right now preserving without any preservatives is through the packaging process. So we are having retort pack, we are having MAP packaging, we are having pasteurization method. So without any preservatives, we are making the sweets stay longer, stay fresh, at least for 3 months, 6 months. And right now, making it globally available or in online websites like Amazon, Mirchi.com, everywhere it is available. So right now, the challenges, I think, in our industry is the shelf life of our product. So milk, cheese, these products, do not stay for longer time. So the challenge that we faced in our industry is to keep it fresh, that too without preservatives. So during off-season time, we continue collecting from farmers the cheese, milk every day, and we preserve it. And during season time, these things get sold. And right now, I think the livelihood of farmers have developed a lot because government is also providing a lot of subsidies to develop the quality of milk, to develop jo dana gai manungu diya jiva, to get subsidy for them. So I think farmers are getting good subsidies from the government where they're taking good care of the cows in their house. And good cows mean good quality milk. Good quality milk means good quality of sweets that we can make. So I think the process is entirely dependent on everyone. With that, we are also right now collaborating with millet sweets, like we are using ragi for our sweets, cookies, namkeen. We are making Rasola is something that is an integral part of every Odia identity. After the GI tag, the prestigious GI tag we occurred for Rasogola, I think every Odia right now who were not aware of the importance of Rasogola is now being aware that yes, it's one of the important offerings at Sri Mandira for Lord Jagannath right now. So I think one tagline that for Rasogola that we have got is Ratha Jatra Jebetu Rasogola Sebetu. So no one can take Rasogola out of any Odia's heart. So right now it is our duty, being the benchmarker of Rasogola, to make it available globally. So we are working hard to market the product. For that, we are as I said, we are the bridge between the farmers and the customers who want this product available globally. So with that, with Rasola, we are making innovation with, right now we have made coffee Rasola and we are using importantly Koraput coffee. So we are making sure that we are using all the products that is being available in Odisha, that is grown in Odisha. So I think we are trying to, encourage local products. With that, I think one of the most important thing that we all need to take care is, this is a food product whose shelf life is very less. So more and more packaging method that we can put up so that this product can stay fresh, stay longer. So I think with this, I want to end this session. And one thing that I want to say, that being the benchmarker or being the sweet industry's leading brand, this is my responsibility that the state of Odisha never lives a head down when it comes to the one of the most important delicacy of Odisha. So we promise that we will satisfy and take this name of the state Odisha up by providing the best quality of sweets globally. Thank you.
So if there is any questions or queries regarding, because the first part of the panelists we had was regarding food technology and this thing. So if anybody wants to develop any product or something, so if there is any query, I think Madam Secretary is there. She'll be able to, because I think she'll also be leaving in some time. So if from the audience, if there is any query, we'll be able to take one or two queries. From the audience, is there anybody who want to speak? I think they are, sir. Yes. Mic good ಇದೆ.
Thank you, Pondavu. I'm here since morning. I'm known to Madam also. Civil Supply Mantri sa asparnanti mu tanko residence office ru astili dekha kariya pai. It was a very nice session on drone. तो ड्रोन उपरे मु एति खाली कहू चाहूची ऑनरेबल साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी मंत्री आमे बसी की गोटे ड्रोन रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट सेंटर करिया पे प्लानिंग रे अछु आ एटा को गोटे स्टेज पर्यंत आमे गलुनी तो आज भी मोर केपीएमजी रो स्टेट हेड सहित मीटिंग थिला आमे जेमती हैदराबाद रे सेमाने करूचंती ताकू आमे खूब शीघ्र ओडिसा रे करिया को जाउछु तो एटा दि हबो निश्चय हम पय गोटे बहुत बड़ जिंस हबो ओडिसा रे ड्रोन उपरे हबो थैंक यू
This is information for us, but any further, I think.
I have a query to Kanungo sir. Sir, you have shown the drone-based technology and also application. Have you automatized all this process, means collecting image, processing, and then application? Is there, how much time gap is there? Or everything is AI-based and already quick means analysis is being done and it is followed by application?
It's on.
Yes. See, need to understand what you have asked and understood. You want to know that the process is automated or it is still manual, right? What I told in the beginning, the moment you go for precise mapping, the volume of data increases. The drone data is very high volume, okay? Because you are getting very finer images, okay? Now the coming to processing part, here what you have done, we have done for almost 5-10 square kilometer areas. You need to have a proper workstation to process it. You need to understand it. There are processes, we have the platforms where you can just upload the cloud and we'll process it and give you also. But you need to define what you want to get out of it. If your background is, agriculture engineering. Yes. So agriculture engineering, you should be knowing what kind of thing you want. I just told you, you want to know chlorophyll, you have to tell the parameters, right? So other things are fixed and bands are already fixed. I have to use red as with all the things, I can get it. So need to understand how quick you want to take it to address the issue. Okay, if you have the, I'll tell, we have done for damage assessment of trees, horticulture trees. Cyclone happened, we have to assess it immediately. It has to be gone to the Prime Minister report. State report has to submit how much damage happened. How quick you can do it. Look at it. So satellite cannot get because you have cloud. So drone has to fly, get it. We have to scout the trees by automated process. How many tree can be scouted and classify the trees? This is coconut, this is cashew, this is what kind of thing we have to do. This is how the time works for you. Okay. So if you want as fast as possible, cloud is there. Platform is ready with us. We can connect with you, get some use cases. We'll try to process and provide you the results. Process when you are using machine learning, AI based, it is not classical models. Classical models are standard model, but you will not get the results. 50% will get. The moment we try to modify the models using lots of algorithm modification, we can go up to 90 plus. Okay, we can discuss in detail also. Thank you.
I'll request Secretary, ma'am. She has a question. Yes. Can you give the mic, please?
I am Dr. Babilata Shroff from Team Omnimark. Omnimark is a physical AI startup, and we are providing services in deep tech and physical, and we are providing services in deep tech and cyber physical autonomous solutions. And in there, we are using the embedded systems, digital engineering, and sustainability in critical infrastructure and industries, based upon radar, lidar, sonar, X-ray, MIT, SLAM, machine vision, and all, X-ray, thermal based, everything. So whenever we are coming to drone technology, we are indigenously providing the solutions, the sensor fusion models we are providing under the water, above the water, everywhere. So in precision agriculture, we have also solutions, and we can also talk to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I think it was very nice, and now I'll request Secretary of MSA, ma'am, to sum up because she has an engagement. I think we have gone a little delayed by the session because I think Governor sir was very happy to be in OUAT. We had more than 1 hour plus of his talk. So, ma'am, I think please.
Yeah. So thank you. I must compliment all the members of the session of Next Gen Agri and Food MSME. So as we discussed, so the Next Gen Agriculture, as Dr. Kanungo was mentioning, drone-driven, geospatial technologies-driven, or lidar-driven, Madam was just mentioning. So we have a couple of startups which are doing good work over here. So basically, where you need to go to ideas, there are some things where the technologies are available. There are platforms like OUAT where they were mentioning the technologies which are already in place. If you want to take some of that and connect it to raw material to convert into ready to eat food items or ready to packaged foods. So this is one sector where you can work. OUAT shared a couple of technologies and the products that has been displayed. Very recently, we came across a startup where they were working with banana stem. Remember, banana stem, Balyanta. So, semane hochandi farmers ka saita misiki banana stems through semane hochandi different products tiyari kurchanti. Mu kichi mas tale hochi Kendrapada jaithili. सेठी आमे देखिलु कि जो आमे साळ पत्र रे जो पत्र तयारी होउची आमे जो लीफ प्लेट्स गुडा तयारी करूछु ता साइड रु होउची किछि किछि होउची रेमनेंट्स बाहरी जाय से पत्रटा एतडे जदी के देखितिबो से मशीन टा से लीफ प्लेट टा जदे तयारी हुए ताको प्रेस करके तयारी करा जाय तो साइड रु वेस्टेज हुए तो सेई जो साइड रु जोडा वेस्टेज होउची सेइथरे से माने होउचंदी किछि आउ प्रोडक्ट मिक्स करके दे आर मेकिंग नाइस ग्लासेस एंड दे आर सेलिंग टू आंध्र प्रदेश एंड तेलंगाना. So I was very happy. So एटा को हमें को grassroots entrepreneurs जो माने एटा करू थिले भी they were part of some of them were part of an SHG group and some of them were and one of them was an entrepreneur who was leading this thing. So they have also applied for patents and all in this particular sector. So कहिबार ये अछि कि existing technologies अछि आपण मन को भितरु जो माने होचंदी interested अछंती नुआ नेक्स्ट जनरेशन स्टार्टअप करिबा पई एक्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज ऊपर भी फोकस करी कि आपण माने निजर बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक्स करि परिबे और एल्स यू हैव न्यू आइडियाज वेयर वी हैव नॉट वेंचर्ड इनटू दैट आल्सो कैन बी आइडिएटेड. OUAT is an amazing incubator. Along with that, agri-tech and food tech, very recent, soon we are also going to do the recognition process of MITS, which is a mega food park for us. ताकू छाड़ी की आमर आहुरी 35 डिफरेंट इनक्यूबेटर्स अछंती. सब्सिडाइज्ड इनक्यूबेशन रो होची स्पेस थाए
where you can work for 1.5 years, 18 months, you get a time to idea ru nei ki prototype jai आपन को support तबार होची हमरो policy support रहिची and आमे ता पई होची सबु दिगरु होची efforts नबा पई चेष्टा करछु. So we request the student community to come forward, and I'm sure the next session, which is another very important, खाली product टा करी दबा important नुहे, ताकू जते बेले accelerate करिवे, जोटे startup टे हे गला 5टा product कर देले 10टा कर देले, what next? तो ता पई आपण जते accelerate करिवे सेते बेल को आपण को angel investors किंबा venture capital funds रो support दरकार पड़े. तो सेटा भी कनेक्ट करबा पई हमें स्टार्टअप ओडिशा थ्रू रे एंड अदर इनक्यूबेटर्स को थ्रू रे रेगुलर एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स को सहित सेशन हुए, सो दैट आपण करो मार्केट एक्सेस प्लस जो एक्सीलरेट करबा पई जो सहयोग की दरकार सेथरे हेई परिबो. So with this I thank ICC that they have organized this session for the and has brought in all together, and I also thank all the speakers of this session that they have given the valuable inputs. Thank you.
I would request Honorable VC sir to please come and felicitate ma'am once more.
I'd like to request sir to kindly please fill state with a token of thanks to Madam Rashmita Panda, the Commissioner cum Secretary, MSME Department, Government of Odisha. Shri Rajiv S. Sahu, who is not over here. Samida Mahapatra, Director, Magnum Group. Okay. All right. We would be continuing the next session. Thank you so much, madam, for your precious time and heartily participation in the panel. With a big round of applause, we are going to bid goodbye. A small photo session. After this short photo session, we are going to continue the topic of enterprise, capital and policy, focusing on the financing, policy support and ecosystem development. And this would be chaired by Mr. Sri Ram Panda, the convener, Agri and Food Processing Committee, ICC, MITS Mega Food Park.
So I think we'd like to thank everybody. I'm very sorry that we have crossed our time limit, because what I was told was we had a very long session on the first half with the governor, sir. So I think we'd like to go forward. This is a very important session. So, ma'am, please. We'd request our GM NABARD, sir, who is here, to please give a brief talk, because that's the most important part, because whatever you do, you need funds and money. So I think we'll keep it crisp, because what Secretary Ma'am was doing, NABARD has been doing it for a pretty long time. They have been the one who have been creating ecosystem for SHGs to work in the state, and that has been the strength of NABARD. Sir, please.
Good evening to all my fellow panelists and to all the dignitaries and the audience, students and faculty members. I was here for the past an hour or so, and before the Commissioner and Secretary MSME arrived, the comparator was asking that how many of you want to go in for entrepreneurship or want to go in for service. So to my surprise, I don't think anybody raised the hand for going in for entrepreneurship. Although what I presume is, although this symposium is meant to go in for entrepreneurship. Anyways, because the topic is this, I came unprepared because I was thinking that I'll be asked questions because there's a panel discussion. So I thought I'll be asked post questions, but the pattern was a little different. So I was supposed to give a few thoughts of mine. One of the speakers said that, funding from the bank side is difficult as far as startups are concerned. But on the contrary, I have some other views. If you see the whole ecosystem of startups, there must be around 75,000 to 1 lakh startups in India, out of which only about 5% are agri-tech. Now, why we are discussing agri-tech? Because I am standing in an agriculture university. So 5% are agri-techs. And why do they, I'll start from a very harsh statement, why do they fail? I'll contain my speech into what are the problems with startups and because I am from NABARD, so I'll tell you what NABARD does for startups. These are the two things. I'll segregate my session into two parts. Now, what are the issues? Despite the fact, don't think that there is no funding support for agri-techs. There's a huge amount of support, financial support, funding support for the agri-techs. But despite this funding supports, the agri-techs fail. They raise a lot of funding, but slowly they go out of scene and nobody comes to know of it. Now, what are the reasons behind it? What as financiers we have found out is, when you are deploying a technology, you are deploying technology for the sake of deploying technology. The entrepreneurs are not seeing what is the demand from the farm. Agri-techs are basically for whom? Either for the consumers or mainly for the farmers. Generally, our perception is that, you make a product and it will be consumed by the people in urban areas. Agri-techs are basically meant for farmers. But when the agri-techs launch themselves, they feel that they have to give technology somehow. Now, whether technology is demanded by the farmer is not seen. So ultimately what happens is the agri-techs products demand goes away. Now, you all know, you are students of agriculture here, that around 85-90% of the farmers, especially in Odisha also and all across India, they are small and marginal farmers. They don't have disposable income, sufficient disposable income. They are located in the hinterlands of the country. There is no electricity, there is no internet services. Their digital as well as financial acumen is very less. So when you are deploying a technology, you should keep this in mind, which our customers don't do it. And that is why, despite our funding, they fail. Now, secondly, there are few points which came to my mind. As I said, why agri-techs are having problems. Now, there's always a sector unpredictability in agriculture, whether it can be rainfall or drought or whatever it is. Thirdly, that is to be taken in mind. The third point is that in agriculture startup, there is a longer investment horizon. When you're going for field trials or by adoption by the farmers, it takes a lot of time. Unlike other, if you go to education startup, whether it was Byju's or anything which you say, the people, the gentry, the clientele is different. Here, when you are launching a product, your investment horizon is a little longer. So these are some of the problems which you face. Because why I am telling these problems is that I feel that some of the students here, because the symposium is meant for startups, they will go in for startups. So what they should keep in mind before they approach the funding agency. Lastly, one more thing is that you are chasing, basically when you launch a startup, you are generally, what we have seen is the startups are chasing valuations. Valuations means you want to expand into the market. You want to go deep into the market and capture as much as market as possible. But you are not paying attention to the revenue streams. You are not paying attention to the profitability of your venture. You first want to go for increasing your valuations. How do you go for increasing your valuations? You catch hold of some equity investor. Once you start growing up, once your product is viable, you try to launch into the market. You have launched into the market. You have successfully launched into the market. Now you want to expand. So for the sake of an expansion in the market, you want to capture the market. You go and catch hold of one funding agency and you try to fund it. You give a particular amount of equity share to it. Let us say you take 1 crore from the funding agency and you give 20% market stake to that agency. But in that, you expand the market, you are not paying attention to your revenue streams, which ultimately leads to decrease in profits, retrenchment which takes place. You start throwing away your employees because you are not generating enough income, and then slowly you close away. Lastly, the last reason which we found was that startups are into price competition. They are into pricing war with each other. They give a lot of hectic discounts rather than satisfying your customer, your farmer with your customer service. You are in competition with other startups. How you can, there's a cutthroat competition as far as pricing is concerned. It's not a solution. Now, these are some of the initial reasons which we found that startups fail, and they fail hugely. Now, this was one part of my speech. The other part is what we are doing in NABARD as far as the startups are concerned. Because the students are here, where we can help them a lending hand as far as funding support is concerned. From the NABARD side, there is funding support as far as equity support is concerned, or whether debt is concerned, or whether grant is concerned. NABARD is specifically started a technology facilitation fund where we give equity support to the budding startups which are into the food and processing sector, especially sunshine sectors, agricultural sector. We have our own venture. Apart from this venture capital fund, we have our own venture capital fund. Now, this was a technology transfer fund which I spoke to you. If there is any technology where we can give support around 5 crores or so. We have venture capital fund where we invest directly into the startups. We take equity share, percentage of equity share, and we trust equity into your startup. We have our own stringent norms. If your startups falls into that category, we are more than happy to give you a funding support. We have incubation centers also in various agriculture universities. OUAT had also approached NABARD for starting an incubation center. Somehow the process could not go further. We are really interested in taking it forward and establishing an incubation center where we give all kind of bootstrap assistance and catalytic fund where where there is a stage. Now, when a startup goes through different stages, initially there is a huge chance, 99% of chances that the startup will fail. So during that time, we give a grant support so that that stage which is called the valley of death, you don't go into that. So that kind of grant support is available. We are also into giving term loans for units which want to establish factory units in the mega food parks. Suppose there are food parks set up by MOFP or food parks set up by the state government. We not only fund the setting up of food parks, but we also give term loans to the entrepreneurs who want to set up units in the food parks. Now, these are these are not commercial rate term loans. NABARD being a developmental financial institution, we give subsidized rate of interest term loans which run into, but the period is only 7 years with a 2 years grace period. So basically you have to pay for 5 years. The rate of interest are very much lower than the market. We also help in establishment of FPOs. Through FPOs, we have been, giving grant support for, value chain, whether it is agriculture value chain, whether it is marine value chain or animal husbandry chain. These are all grant support being given by NABARD. We also give for fruit processing as far as FPOs are concerned. So there are various areas where, agricultural students can approach NABARD as far as funding support for startups is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think OUT senior team is not there. I think they missed the golden word which you told, that you're ready to support OUT. This I think we'll communicate it to them. This is the first time an event we're doing in association with OUT. I think we'll request Dr. Namrata Mishra, she is CEO BCKIC. So I think this is a very interesting organization. You should will keep ask Namrata ma'am to keep it short and crisp, because I think she's an expert. She has been in KIT TBI also, a leader, and she knows how to push the startups.
Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you are aware? Thank you so much, sir, for the warm introduction. How many of you are aware of BCKIC? Okay, 2, 3. That's good. That's a good
I now
number.
know.
I was not expecting even one. But yes, time is short, so I'll be very brief. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming from the innovation ecosystem as an enabler for more than a decade, I'm sure you will also agree with me on this, that the journey of a biotech startup is way different from any service-based startup, right? The gestation period is long, the trials are seasonal, the compliances are robust, everything is difficult. It's not as a rosy journey. And for that, I always believe that financing also should not be ordinary. Right finance, right stakeholders, right ecosystem platforms can bring a huge change. And if we get this combination right, then there is nothing that can stop Odisha to leverage its strength and resources to translate into economy, enterprise, and impact. Now, coming to funding, we have already heard from a previous speaker that funding is no more a problem. You name any ministry, bank, corporates, there is no dearth of funding, be it at any stage, from ideation to proof of concept to scale up to translation. There are a lot of schemes. So money is not the challenge. So what is the challenge? The challenge is, can anybody say? To my experience, if you ask me, is a stage mismatch. You know what he rightly pointed out, because I've seen many ideas not getting supported, not because they are not meritorious, technically meritorious, but because it's a stage misfit. You are at ideation stage and you look for equity funding. You are at equity stage, you look for grant funding. So right funding, right innovator, connecting them to right scheme, right stakeholder, then there is never looking back. And I must say that there are so many banks here right away, the leadership of the bank, the corporates. So how many of you are aware of the CSR funding for startups? Very few. I must say that startups here, please explore it, because that is a lot of funding that is there, which is really looking for technologies which can bring on ground and has a social impactful play to role. And so these all, the one advice that I give to every innovator is that, you know, if you want to make money, if you want to make capital, you have to make your innovation investable. And for that, it's not about what you want to sell. It's about to understand what the investor or the industry is looking for. You need to ask the questions. You need to be a little bit more stringent with yourself. Are you working on the right problem statement? Is it scalable? Is it doable? Is that a commercial viable? Is it bound by time frame? If you keep building your technology, keeping all this in mind, then definitely funding is not a constraint. There is so much of CSR funding, government funding. All that what is needed is packing it together in the right manner. And policy, I think that this is the time. Time is ripe for business. If not today, then never, because today policy, the government is not a mere gatekeeper, right? It's a partner, and we are witnessing here today. But we always keep on complaining, policymakers, you know, that's not happening, XYZ. I always feel that let's stop complaining. Let's build our conviction as aligned with the national
priorities, state priorities. You know, there are national military mission program that's going on. There's a blue economy. Are we able to find a solution that the state, that the nation needs? I'm sure if the innovation speaks of the language of policy, then you are going to attract capital and conviction for sure. And finally, the last thing that ties everything together is ecosystem. Because when we're talking about bigger mission programs like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Viksit Bharat, it cannot be the effort of a single institution or a single entity or people like us or people like you or startups, anybody. It has to be a unified effort. We all have to come together holding hands in hand and advertising, branding Odisha, because we always complain that down south there is a lot of opportunity over there. But is Odisha dirt of talent? Is Odisha dirt of institution? Is Odisha dirt of support system? No, I don't think so. Always think positive. But we never come together and showcase what is the Odisha strength. And the time is right because there are so many homegrown companies which we have heard today. There are many success stories, the Magnum one of them, who have really carved the nation innovation ecosystem. So the responsibility is on us. And that's the reason why 4 years back, the Office of PSA started this science and technology cluster. There are 8 S&T clusters today operating: Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune, Jodhpur, and there's one name in it is Bhubaneswar. So I think we need to tap here that yes, Odisha is being counted because we have, as I said, there is a lot of institutions, a lot of startups. We have all the ingredients for success. And that's the objective of the Bhubaneswar City Knowledge Innovation Cluster. It's not another organization because there are plenty of them. It's just a platform that brings everybody together, be it industry, be it academia, be it startups, be it state government, be it central government, to leverage the strength and resources of each other and work for a unified mission for Viksit Odisha. It's time not to compete among ourselves, but complement each other's strength. Yes or no? It is hard because, you know, we always love to work in silos. We always love to work in 4 walls. But it's only when all the 5 fingers come together that's the strength, manifest. So with this vision, Bhubaneswar City Knowledge Innovation Cluster, it's a neutral body. It works under the Office of PSA. We focus more on technology deployment. So if there is an innovation, if there is a solution that is there lying on shelf, on lab, how to bring it on ground, how to bring it to the real people who needs it, the last mile connection, which is very important because there are a lot of organizations, a lot of schemes to support product development. But what about the real journey begins after that, deployment, because once you develop the product, the hustle begins in terms of getting the right customer, bringing it on technology, getting it to industry where the entire dynamics change, the scale changes. And that's what BCKIC done. And BCKIC is every day trying to bridge the gap between all the stakeholders, be it the government of Orissa, OUAT, of course, is a partner, and ICC. So with this vision, with this hope, I'm sure that Orissa has all the talent, has all the resources, everything that is needed, not only to feed our state, but to innovate and sustain the entire nation. And for the students right away there at the back, feel privileged because when we were at our age and we were just discussing, these kind of networking platforms never happened. Now industries are so opening up with the problem statement. There are sandwich programs for the students. you can understand about the journey of a startup. You can get an internship with the startup before, understanding whether a startup is a cup of tea. To not just delve into, forming a company because it sounds very fancy, but it's not that fancy. It's a lot of things that happens. So students, the spotlight is on you. You are the change makers. You are going to drive the new India. So with this hope, I will stop here. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Namrata ma'am. I think as usual, we know what she is heading is a very important assignment, and they will take this entire region of Odisha and Eastern India forward in innovation. And I think we have one of the best speakers with us, Shri Pradyumna Kumar Chaudhary sir, who is the DGM of SIDBI Odisha. SIDBI is a national leader in terms of supporting entrepreneurship that has been recognized to be one of this, the last speaker with us. So it has been recognized as one of the key banking sector pillars for driving entrepreneurship. And sir, maybe many of you will not be knowing, he is a man who talks from heart and he is very open. So I think we are privileged to have him as a last speaker and to also speak about how innovation is driven by SIDBI. Thank you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening. Good evening, the panel members on the dais. And thankfully, I don't have a PPT. And thankfully, I am the last speaker before we wind up. And thanks to ICC for organizing this. And thanks to you being so patient and so kind of you to be here for the last speaker. Well, I wish there could have been more students because it is one of the important topic of startups happening in one of the premier institute in Orissa and for the startups. And who will make the startups? Students, of course, isn't it? So as ma'am told, there are a lot of things before we just open a company. Yeah. So I'll just read out a story. For this event, I thought I should not make these PowerPoint presentations, which sounds sometimes very boring and all. I'll just create a story for you. Just listen to this story, okay? The summer of 2012 was merciless in Bihar. The sun cracked the earth into different parts. In village after village, small farmers stood at the edge of their fields wondering the same very question. The question, what is the question? Why does so much of what they grow, like agriculture, borrow, buy, sell, still feel beyond their control? Yeah. Seeds arrived late, mixed in diluted products, fertilizer is also in diluted. Money lenders offer credit at very, very high rate of interests. And when harvest finally came, if it came at all, middlemen took margins, middlemen. That made the farmer's year-long toil feel like someone else's profit. मैं किसके लिए काम कर रहा हूँ यार? हाँ? सारा दिन मेहनत किया, सालों का मेहनत किया, जो भी किया, लास्ट में मिडलमैन आया, लगता है कि यार ये मेरा कुछ बचा ही नहीं. Into this landscape walked three guys like you, Sasank Kumar, Amrinder Singh, and their colleagues. They're very young professionals, engineering students like you, with MBAs, but with an attitude, that attitude of being stubborn, jiddi. A stubborn refusal to accept India's 100 million small marginal farmers, that they were simply beyond the reach of dignity and modern commerce. क्या कर सकते हैं यार इन लोगों के लिए? कुछ तो करें. They did not arrive with a PowerPoint like me. They arrived with questions, notebooks, and the willingness to sit under trees and listen. To sit under trees and listen. To whom? These farmers. When they discovered that it was not a farming problem, it was a system problem. The Indian small farmer was not poor because he lacked the will to work, but he worked harder than anyone alive. A farmer, you can't imagine how much work he does. He was poor because of the entire agri ecosystem had been designed over generations to serve someone else, not the farmer. Seeds, soil, health, credit advisory, market access, these 5 critical inputs were each fragmented, each controlled by somebody else. It was not under their control. The founders of what would have been, the founders then thought, let us make something. And what they made was DHAT, DEHAAT. What it means? It means the village in Hindi. Asked a simple but radical question. What if a single technology-powered platform could connect the farmer to all 5? Okay, a technology platform connecting all the 5. At once, at fair prices, in their own language, like Hindi, through someone he already trusted in his own village. The master stroke of the DHAT model was not the app or the algorithm that people of startups, they create, It was person. What? The micro-entrepreneur embedded in the village. DHAT called them DHAT centers. Local operators, young men like you and me, and women from farming families, who became the last mile between the platform and the farmers. Consider Ramesh, a 26-year-old from a village in Vaishali district. Ramesh. His father had 2 acres of paddy and maize and had spent his life at the mercy of an input dealer whose shop was 11 kilometers away and whose prices were mystery. Ramesh, armed with a smartphone and the DHAT franchise, became something like his village had never done before. A trusted, accountable, tech-enabled agricultural service point. He could order certified seeds. He could connect farmers to crop advisory. But whenever the peak pressure rose or the soil turned, he could also turn to agronomists. And when harvest came, he could link them to buyers who competed for their produce rather than dictating price. So what happens is the middleman always dictated price. Ramesh did not merely earn a commission, he earned dignity. And so did every farmer in that Vaishali district of Bihar. So the DHAT technology was never designed for urban display. It was designed to work on a mid-range Android phone, never a display. In low bandwidth, it will work on low bandwidth. In Hindi, Maithili language or Bengali language. The platform collected granular data, soil profiles, crop cycles, weather pattern, and pest histories, and turned that data into a hyperlocal personal advisory services to the farmers. A farmer in Muzaffarpur facing early blight on his tomatoes received a targeted, actionable message, not a general leaflet. What to do? Over the time, the platform's data advantage became its deepest advantage. DHAT began to understand Indian small agriculture farmers, which no government could understand, no government data could capture. Cropping patterns, credit repayment behavior, input efficiency, everything was done. This was not data for its own sake. It became the engine for better credit products, better supply chain decisions, better market linkages. The farmer unknowingly was teaching the platform, and the platform in return was giving back the intelligence that compounded or growed his income. By early 2020s, DHAT had scaled to serve millions and millions of farmers across Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Haryana, and Rajasthan. It had raised hundreds and hundreds of millions in investment from Global Fund. See, the problem statement, what ma'am just now told. So you need to have that problem statement. They could understand this is the problem these farmers are facing. It is one of the largest commercial opportunities in Asia. The company's network of the Heart Center crossed 10,000 centers. The lives it had touched farmers who could now access input credit without a money lender. So they could get money without going through giving high rate of interest to a money lender. Women who could now earn income as local agri advisors, young rural entrepreneurs who now had real business ran into millions of rupees. Yet, remained most striking was the Heart had not lost its journey from a small pilot in Bihar to a national platform. In its deep, instinctive respect for the farmer as the protagonists. So in boardroom presentations and in village chowpal, the farmer was a never user or a customer segment. The farmer was a never user. They didn't treat as a farmer as a user. He was the reason for which the enterprise existed itself, for whom the enterprise, that startup was created. The numbers served him. The algorithms they created also served him. The investors ultimately summed him. So, ab ummeed hai. That was the story I was telling you. So, sapne sach hote hain. I think we should all always have dreams. SIDBI as an institution has been helping startups and MSMEs across the country, for which government has also been giving lot of importance to SIDBI and to startups. So my message is, anybody, young entrepreneur here, or who have not been attending this program, in college campus, or outside, or on your or you may know them, just tell them, if they have any idea, please connect to me, have a cup of coffee in our office, discuss with me how to take it forward. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I think it was a very powerful message. So I think this concludes our session. I'll just take a minute to sum up. Being an entrepreneur is a very tough journey. So what we gave today was a flavor. You need technology, also you need sourcing, you need the basic agriculture part, biotechnology. This all comes together. So anybody of you, sir, I was just debating with sir. Sir told that maybe post-lunch serious participants are not there, but I told sir, I was always there post-lunch and I became an entrepreneur. So I know when I came back, my mother always used to ask, will you get married? Because generally in Odisha, entrepreneurs are not by choice. They only become if we are not into a working profession. That has been the mindset. But I have gone through the journey. I've seen, thanks to all the panelists. I think today we had the first citizen of Odisha, Honorable Governor Saab, was here. He spent, I think, a long time. So we are very proud that he took from 12 minutes to 1 hour, 12 minutes. And that shows his interest for the subject. And I think OUAT has been a phenomenal organization where there's so much power and so much enthusiasm which has been supportive, and especially all three speakers have been extremely good. So I'll call my co-convener, Colonel Sujan Mahanti, to felicitate all the three speakers. Sir, please.
Would like to request sir to kindly please do the honor to Sri Ayush Shiopuri, GM NABARD. Dr. Namrata Mishra, CEO, BCKIC. Shri Pradyumna Kumar Chaudhary, Deputy General Manager, SIDBI, Odisha. Now I would like to request Mr. Sri Ram Panda, the convener, Agri and Food Processing Committee, ICC Odisha State Council, to please give away the vote of thanks. Okay, who are they?
Any questions in the meantime? Oh, I see.
We have Professor Nihar Ranjan Sahu, CAET, OUAT. We have Dr. Abhrakash Kanungo, the Executive Vice President, Source Stress Systems, USA. Any questioners, any queries you want to ask to the panelists? Okay, it's already 6. All right, the closing remarks would be given by Mr. Sriram Panda. Please put your hands together, everyone.
One clap for the anchor also. She has been there for the whole day, Rosalie. She's one of the ex-students of a college I represent. So anyways, I think I have already told my closing remarks. FAB is something which we thought of 2 months back. Food, Agri and Biotech, I think we have gone forward. It was a very big day, so a lot of learning from this experience. We'll try to take it forward. Thank you very much for coming, and one big clap for the audience and the students who were here for the entire day. I know many of you have come down because of your commitment to us, but I'll tell you, if any one of you has an entrepreneur spirit, if anybody one of you also are successful in setting up an enterprise after 15 years also, because of some learning or some experience from this will be a great achievement for us. Thank you very much. Thank you. We close the session formally. Thank you. Thank you, sir.